Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Lakeville Parks Commission. I'm calling the Lakeville Parks Commission meeting to order on Monday, December 7th, 2020 at 6:32 p.m. in accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, general laws 30A, paragraph 20, relating to the 2020 novel coronavirus outbreak emergency. The December 7th, 2020 public meeting of the Lakeville Parks Commission shall be physically closed to the public to avoid group congregation. However, to view this meeting in process, please go to facebook.com/LakeCAM. You do not need a Facebook account to view the meeting. This meeting will be recorded and available to be viewed at a later date at www.lakecam.tv. I will now be confirming the member access. As a preliminary matter, this is Scott Holmes. I'm the chairman of the Lakeville Parks Commission. Permit me to confirm that all members, staff, and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Commissioners, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Mike Nolan.
Here.
Joe Kasha.
Here.
Paula Houle.
Here.
And Jesse Medford.
Here.
Nellie Woodburn, the secretary.
Here.
And also tonight we'll be speaking is Mike Bytel. Hi, Mike.
Hello, here.
Thank you for coming.
No problem, guys. Thank you.
Introduction to the remote meeting. Good evening. This open meeting of the Lakeville Parks Commission is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of the emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. And as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so as long as reasonably public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation, unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Lakeville Parks Commission is convening by video conference via Zoom as posted on the town's website. For Zoom meetings, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Meeting materials. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. Meeting business ground rules. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they have concluded their remarks, I will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to talk with each other, please do through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. Finally, each vote taken during this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Okay. Nice when I don't have to do that anymore. Okay, we're going to start off with our new business, and we're going to get right to the presentation with Mike, possibly bringing cricket to Ted Williams Camp. So I've got your printouts, which are very helpful. I also went online and saw some very similar ones. This is very helpful for us in the way to determine where would be the best spot for us to propose this cricket field, however you want to call it. I guess I'll turn it over to you, Mike, if you've got anything you want to throw out there, and then we'll let the members ask you some questions.
Yeah, definitely. So I think I'm sure like everybody has that the material I send out
Yep.
to have a look. So in that particular thing, like we look. I'm proposing to have that 150-yard circle filled for cricket, and which is we normally need a permission to do the middle of the field. It's called pitch, where
Yep.
really this particular game supposed to be played. So but making that particular pitch over there, so we need to make 22 yards, like they need to dig about, I must say, foot, and they need to like put some couple of the layer to make before they make up the come up with a pitch over there. So like I can't able to put up anything on like a Zoom right now as a presentation, but I send out the paper. I
Yep.
can explain through that if anybody have more question regarding to the particular field or any question about the game.
Okay, I will go down the list of members, and if they have any questions, we'll direct them directly to you so that you can answer them. And
Yeah, definitely.
so my first thing is, so in looking at this, so we're looking at an area of I know it's not a perfect circle. I know it's an oval
Yep.
shape, but
Yep.
roughly 150 to 160 yards.
Yeah, even 150, that's a max. I mean, like we don't
Okay.
need more than 150, because 150 is including the boundaries and a
Mhm.
little bit of space outside, while the players who's not playing right now, they can sit over there, and that's all area including.
Okay. All right. I'll let the other members ask some questions, and if they don't ask any of the ones I have, then I'll ask those from you.
Definitely.
First up, I see Jesse. Jesse, you got any questions for Mike?
Yes, I'm just wondering if you already have a spot picked out where you need to dig and put the pitch.
So right now, like I only able to see the one field, which is the soccer field, I guess it's called, on the Trade Williams, and that's only field I know. But I know that you guys might have more fields too, and I don't mind. As far as the field are, like a leveled, and like we really don't like need a same spot. We need a somewhere I can get like 150-yard circle, and we can make like a pitch inside. We can try to make up the cricket field down there.
All right. Yeah, that's my only
That's
question.
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I see Joe Kasha. Do you have any questions for Mike?
Yes. First, thanks, Mike, for coming. Appreciate it.
No problem.
The question I have, it's at 150 yards. So where down the fields are we looking? And maybe this is more geared towards Scott and Mike. You know the fields better than anybody. Where are we looking to put this? Is by the soccer fields on behind martial arts, or where are we looking? Where would this fit, I guess?
So like
As for Scott or Mike, I just
Okay.
yeah.
I haven't had a chance to go out and measure, and maybe Mike has a better idea of the size. One of my questions to Mike Pytel was going to be, would one of the baseball fields work? But just at a quick guess, looking at the size of this, I'm thinking it would have to be on the soccer fields.
Yeah, because like particular this game, like it's a two different games, but the leather game, what we're talking about right now, and I'm proposing the ground for it, there has to be like played on the like a grass. So if they are like because
Okay.
I think baseball field has some grass, and some part is like without it, so it's might be tough. And when the ball travels, it's little dangerous for the fielder to be fill the ball, because might be come down to the face straight up.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions, Joe?
Yeah. So I guess the pitch area, Mike, has I see on
Yes.
the videos and all that. It's they put a layer of stone down, take the grass up, then put blacktop or maybe concrete, whatever you put down. Then you put the grass, you roll out the grass over it. Does it have to be a solid base like that? Or can you just roll out a carpet on a middle of a soccer field?
No, because eventually we can do that, but for ball to really bounce while we're playing, there has to be little like a solid stuff on the bottom. That's the reason we need to make that layers.
Okay, so I mean, that'd be my only concern, if where we put that in a soccer field area, if there's enough space, like I said, where do we put that pitch area, so it doesn't interfere with soccer? That's all. That's all I got
Okay.
for now.
All right, good. Let's see, next up I see. Is Paula here still?
Paul, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Hi, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
I think to kind of condense some of what Mike is talking about, I reviewed a lot of the fields for cricket and spoke to Mike about what he was trying to get across to me. And thank you, Mike, for coming, by the way.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me here.
Yeah. From what I understand, and to clear up any misinformation or any confusion, is that Mike is looking for an area of the soccer field because it's level. This cricket area is not for tennis cricket, it's for regular cricket. Would that be correct, Mike? Okay.
Yes.
The other thing is that when he talks about the pitch, and he's talking about the area like in baseball, from the pitcher to the catcher, and he needs a solid ground under the fiber that they lay over it, or sod. I think he's talking about using fiber material, and such a hard surface would be something like clay. And once that is compacted and they put their sod or their fiber material over that, then they can bounce the ball off that for the batter to hit. Now, I think the only question or concern I have is if the soccer field is needed for soccer players, he would have to replace that every time the soccer team comes to use that area. What I'm thinking is that if we have 2 new fields and they're ready next year, on the time frame that Mike needs to use the cricket field for his team, can the soccer players use the other field so that he doesn't have to tear it up and replace everything, which is an expense to his team? And I guess I'm saying it would be a designated area of the field for the cricket team, which would be the most conducive thing to do, because that would not disrupt the soccer teams. It would not disrupt the cricket teams, and therefore we could work around that if we let the cricket team just use a designated area, and when soccer teams, if there's more than one soccer team on the field at the same time, I don't know, we could accommodate them on the new fields. Is that something doable? For maybe Scott, maybe you can answer that, or Mike Nolan. You know the fields better than me.
My take on that, as I talked with you about that, without going out and measuring out an area, it's going to take more than one soccer field to play this on. It's probably going to take up 2 or 3 fields. So and one of my questions will be to Mike as to what day do they normally play on, Mike? What day do you normally play cricket?
All right. So normally I'm planning to renting out from like summer start, so I can give you exact dates if you, I mean, exact month if you guys want it. But normally we play Saturday, Sundays.
Saturday, Sundays.
Yes.
Yeah, because in the springtime, soccer's really busy on Saturday, and they also have games on Sunday. Yes, we will have the new fields available this year for soccer, but I don't think they would fit. And I'll ask Mike this question. I don't think they would fit across the big practice soccer field. Would it, Mike? That's not big enough. Mike Nolan.
I don't think he,
Hi.
oh, okay.
Hi. So no, the new fields is not going to be big enough. They're only 60 yards wide.
That's what I thought.
They shape like an L, Mr. Patel. So it wouldn't give you a circle. You wouldn't be able to get a circle on that at all. So they wouldn't work for your purposes. I'm not entirely sure that we have 300, 150. Well, I guess we would have a 150-yard circle that we could do. It's going to take up most of the soccer area. My concerns with this would be the fact that you're talking about digging up part of the soccer fields. And that would have to be very carefully placed so that it doesn't interfere with the soccer fields. When the soccer, we have about 300 soccer players in the spring and close to 700 in the fall. Those fields are pretty busy on the weekends. So one of my questions for you is how many, when you're talking about having a league, how many people are we talking about playing?
So at the one time, there will be 22 people at the time because 11 people each team and 2 teams playing to each other. So it's a 22 people right there and a couple of umpires playing with the same time. So we're talking about 24 people at the time while game is going on.
So, and it would be one game per day?
No, because there might be multiple games. Depends on our schedule, because it's nothing set right now because we're still talking about next year, and nothing we might know either. But we're talking about the time frame, which is normally starts in March, late March, and ends end of the October. That's our season of the cricket when normally play around, and there was a different games. I mean, like different game played like if we have a couple of games, then one game might be in the morning, game might be in the evening, and that's what I'm trying to do. Like if I can try to able to get the field, I'm trying to get it for a day, not just for the time period. Or I'm not sure how it can be able to given, or it's only available for certain hours, or can able to get for the day. Because and the concern you asked for about the digging part in a pitch, yes, which is done by the professionals. We might be about end up paying $10,000 for it. So it's done by the professionals, and you really can't tell the difference. Like it's no tripping or something because we're playing on top of that too, because we have to run between the wickets while we're playing. So it's normally level to the field, but yes, it's not a grass on top of it. It's a turf instead of grass on top part of the pitch.
What's the area of that?
The pitch, the center of the area, we're talking about the digging
Yes.
underneath. So that they're putting the certain couple of the levels on the bottom, like they might be putting some kind of stuff on the bottom, but on top part they put the turf, which is green, and it's the level of the ground. So I don't think so there might be a problem. I don't know, football can be played on top of it, but it's not hurting us, if the football plays over there while we're not playing actually.
And what is the area of that pitch?
So it's what, 22 yards long
Yes.
by, was it like 8 or 10 yards wide?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have a league already organized? Or is this something you're looking to start up?
So it is like, to participate in a league, you have to have your own ground. And my planning to be established the Lakeville Cricket Club basically. So I'm already playing with the different teams right now. I used to live in Lowell, so I'm playing with the Lowell. I'm still playing with the team from Lowell right now currently. We're still practicing in indoor. But I want to start off the new team from the Lakeville. But to do that, I have to have my own ground to, because it's rules that I have to, invite the teams to our ground too to
Right.
play. So that's a home game plus the away game. So we have to go to the other place ground over there, which is in Hopkinton, like many other places around the Hopkinton, other ground nearby the, I think Batford, Dartmouth. There are many grounds around there. So we have to go over there. They normally come down. So it's a league, but it's not a one league. So,
Okay,
but
so
we don't. I can't able to register anything until I have the ground.
Sure.
Okay, another question I had for you is this 150-yard circle, and I'm looking at the different other lines in it. Are these going to be painted lines on the field permanently?
No, there might be nothing painted. It might be just the cones sitting on the circle.
You use the cones, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think that's the only spot that there's enough room for you to do it. I'd have to get an idea of what that pitch area is going to look like, and if it's going to interfere with soccer. And the other thing is, March, April, May, and June are big soccer times. So to give you a whole day, in my opinion, would be rough right now. But I don't know. We can continue to work on it and see if we can make something work here. That's
Yeah,
just
no problem.
my observation.
I don't know, what's schedule should be going for the soccer next year, but eventually, if we can get something can be done, that's maybe the new thing can be started in the town. Because I know that town has many different grounds and anything. So those, I really want, because, as a Lakeville citizen, I want to start something off the Lakeville because I'm playing for many years from other, towns anyway. So I'm just trying to do something from Lakeville. Let's see what we can able to get it from you guys.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions before I throw a couple at Mike?
I do. Scott,
Go ahead, Paula.
I have one for you. The area I showed Mike was behind the maintenance building and in that corner where it goes back to the fence where the baseball field begins. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm thinking if he's got that corner, is that feasible?
I'm not sure about what corner you're talking about, but I to
If
the
you-
right of the
if
maintenance
you were
building
looking-
or to the right of
Look
the
right
maintenance-
behind the maintenance building. You're facing the maintenance building, going straight back all the way until there's a fence. There's a fence there. It's the baseball fence or something.
Yeah,
Yes?
that's very small.
But that whole corner area is usable.
I'm not following you because the area right behind the maintenance building is about 50 yards and 50 feet, and then there's a fence. So I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I'm looking further back than that. It seemed to me, Mike Patel, maybe you can recall that when I showed you the field and we went back towards that fence, was that an area that worked for cricket? Because I thought there was a lot of area, but maybe I'm wrong. It looked big to me.
Well, that's probably the soccer fields.
So I'm not sure,
part of the, yeah.
I'm not sure, we are I don't know if I'm misunderstood or like I didn't explain enough, but we don't need it as something center. It can be round, like a
You don't
150
need what?
yard circle,
Mhm.
150 yard circle anywhere.
Yep.
Can be start from the corner too. I don't mind. Like, it's a, like right on the corner and behind it, it's a fence.
Right, right.
We just need a circle. That's what it is. I don't know where can be made. There has to be circle.
Is that area that you looked at, are we talking about the outfield of field 1? It's the biggest baseball field? Was there a baseball diamond in there?
Yeah, that fence is there, right? That divides that and the soccer field, Mike?
Well,
Okay.
it's baseball.
He
that's
doesn't
not common.
need a total 150 yards. He's saying that he doesn't need that many, but that's probably a regulation size. I think Mike should answer whether he needs the 150 yards or something smaller.
All right, so let me explain you guys exactly what it is. So 150 yards, that's where normally supposed to be game played, but you're not using that entire 150 yards at the same time. But like, because of we are playing, as I know that it might be other people are playing maybe soccer around it. So that's my proposal to, to get 150. So if we're playing inside, we are not disturbing anybody else around it. Because it's a hard ball, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, like Mike said, I think the only spot that's going to give you that, even if we tuck you in a corner or whatever, to give you a circled area of that size is going to be on top of at least 2 of the soccer fields, possibly 3. But I think we need to go down there and look at it again, because we're talking, even if it's 5 minutes, and say, yeah, this would be a good spot. I can't do it here, and then we can take it and see if we can find 150 yard area and maybe center the pitch so that it's not in the middle of a soccer field, so that they're just not playing on it, and they're just not, it just makes it easier for you. I think that would be the case. I just haven't had a chance to get down there and look. I didn't know the exact dimensions. Now I do. I think that would be the best thing, to make sure we're all on the same page as to, what you think where you think you could fit it.
Chairman Holmes, just to keep everybody on the same page, I can present a Google Maps to make sure we're clear, if you want me to.
You mean for the soccer field?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Sure.
Here we go. So there's the maintenance building.
So from this angle, Paula,
Yeah.
looking at that maintenance building, were you thinking up to the left, going towards the commissary, or down to the right?
I was thinking this area right here, and my finger's in the way, but right around in here.
Where the
There's
cursor
a
is?
fence here.
Where this fence is right here.
This is the fence, right? Yes. And I'm
Right here.
thinking this area in here, and he's, like he says, he's not using 150 yards, but there's a safety issue. Is this an area that's usable in here? And the soccer fields are out further by this, down here this way?
The soccer fields are over here.
Soccer fields are over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you talking right here, Paula, where I've got the cursor?
You don't, I do.
I'm
I'm
talking,
moving mine. I guess you're not seeing it.
Put it in the outfield of field 1, Nellie.
All right, this is field 1, right?
No, that's
Right,
field
down,
6.
down further.
This
Right,
one?
right here.
That's field 1. Right there.
Outfield. Okay.
okay.
Is this where you're thinking? Because the fence is right along here.
Where's your cursor?
It's only one person with a cursor. That's got to be Nellie.
It's me because I'm the one presenting.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so isn't the fence here where my cursor is?
We
Your
can't
cursor's
see
not
your
showing up,
cursor.
Paula.
Pardon me?
Your cursor is not showing on the screen.
Oh,
Where mine is where the fence is.
okay. So stop there Nellie.
Mhm.
And to your right on my screen is the area I think that we were looking at.
Right.
That's soccer
That's the
field.
soccer fields.
Okay, I've never seen any soccer players down in there, but that's okay. I thought they were up to your right. Nellie, if you move your cursor way up front, yeah, that's, and right up by the parking lot, to your right. To your right. No, the other way, this way.
That whole area,
That's all soccer right there.
Yeah, that's where I
It's
thought
all
most of
soccer.
your soccer was played, so that's why I thought down in that corner would
the
give
whole
more
area is soccer fields, Paula.
Pardon me?
The whole area there that you're seeing is soccer fields.
All corners.
Yep.
But guys,
Okay.
that's not, I got a map here on my phone here of 150 yards. That's not big enough. And that field, that fence right below where that cursor is gonna be in the field. If you come down, Nelly, about that fence right there, that's another fence,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I don't know if we can solve it here, but 150 yards, if we can go smaller, might be acceptable, but I don't think you can fit 150 yards circle in this area. For the quick math I'm doing right now on my phone, it's not big enough, 150 yards around.
The
Okay.
only place you're gonna get 150 yards is go up, Nellie, is up there and then to your right, to your right,
No. Yep.
that's soccer field. That's the only area.
Come down a little bit.
Yeah.
Come down a little bit. Right there.
That's
It's
the
still
only
not
area
big
you're
enough,
gonna be
guys.
able to fit a 150-yard circle.
It's still not big enough.
It should be.
Well, what I'm looking at right now on Google Maps, that you're gonna hit that fence. So you're not unobstructed, what I'm saying. Right there, that fence where that cursor is in your way if you're 150 round. You don't have a clear 150 round there. Yeah, maybe we have to measure it out, but it doesn't look it on my thing here.
So Joe, from there to the street, that's not 150 yards?
Not from that outfield, no.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, that's 2 soccer fields at 60 wide
yeah.
in there.
Like I said, I think we have to do some more work, but it's, that fence could be a problem, I think.
I thought it was too. I mean, that's I know that's
Yeah.
jutting out into it juts out into the soccer field.
Now, is that fence needed?
Yeah, that's Babe Ruth fence.
Okay,
That's where the cursor is right now. That's the right field foul pole.
yeah.
Well, I think the thing is we'd have to go down and take a hard look and take a tape measure and
Yep.
see if we can get see how close we can get.
Yeah, so
And
like, sorry.
No, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so what I was asking that, let's see then, if you're planning to go down, I don't know if you guys allow me, then I can come down with you guys and we
Sure.
can try to see that, what is really able to, and then, I can, we can try to, whatever, like if it's only 120 available, then we can try to go with the 120 and say that we can do something else with the whatever we need to, because this is not a really international game. We are playing for fun. So, if they are, instead of 150, there will be 130, we still gonna play. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I don't know what's really available, but if you guys thinking that by going over there, if we can measure that, I don't mind. We can give a shot.
Okay. Does anybody have a time that's better for them to meet down there on the weekend?
It's up
Saturday,
to Mike
Sunday?
because he's managing his store.
I know. That's why I'm. What's a
Sorry.
good? I know you're busy, Mike, but could you slip out for 10 minutes or 15 minutes?
No, definitely. You guys can let me know what time, and I'll try to, figure it out. Not a problem.
Okay. Want to try and do it Saturday morning,
Yeah, definitely. What time, guys?
10 o'clock?
Sure, no problem.
All right.
We
All
should bring a measuring, a walker roller. I
Yeah.
think we have one of them in the maintenance building.
Okay. Okay.
We can measure it out.
Sounds good. All right.
All right.
That'll give us some more information. I guess some of the questions I had were, you've pretty much gone over them, the size, the players, the dates. Approximately, I know you can't tell me for sure, Mike. But what's a time frame of a game? Couple, 3 hours?
Yes, so like we play normally two different games. One game we play for 20 overs,
Okay.
which is really done in 3 hours.
Okay.
But one game we normally play for 50 overs, which is
Wow.
done in at least about, I must say, 5.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're looking at a time frame between March and October. So and you're looking for a home field, and that's what we understand this to be.
Yep.
And then we'd have to find a spot to dig up for the pitch.
Mhm.
And then the days of the week. Like Mike said, in the springtime,
Mhm.
Saturdays are going to be real tough.
Mhm.
Once we get to the end of June, July, August,
Mhm.
it's pretty wide open down there.
Mhm.
And then again in September, Saturdays are absolutely crazy. We have between 600 and 700 kids down there on a Saturday. And we do have some adult soccer leagues. The women also play on Sunday afternoons. So we definitely have to look at the schedule. We wouldn't want to lead you along there and then take it away from you. That's not our plan. I think it's a great idea. I'd love to see it come to Lakeville. If we can work out the size and the pitch and some type of a schedule, I think it would be a great thing to do.
Definitely, and I can try to get more information through, from the players we are planning to play together. So I'm just trying to get the more information as possible for you guys. So you guys get better idea that, like maybe we can try to schedule our games on more Sundays rather than Saturdays, or Saturday afternoon games, and Sunday basically we can try to do couple games on Sunday, like that. If we have like Saturday available afternoon, something like that.
Okay. All right. So we'll meet you down there Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. And
Sure.
if anybody else is interested in coming along, we can meet you there. Sound good?
Definitely.
Okay.
It's on Saturday 10 o'clock down there.
Saturday, 10 o'clock. Thank you for coming tonight, Mike. And
Thank you.
you can go whenever you'd like.
Thank you guys. Okay, thank you
Thank
guys
you.
taking interest. Thank you.
Bye, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, moving on. Minutes. Did we have a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
We'll start with what do we got here? Which was the first one you gave us? June 4th or April 23rd?
April 23rd.
April 23rd. Everybody have a chance to look at them?
I did, but I can't vote on them.
No. I don't remember this meeting.
Good thing we
I
have
bet
minutes.
Nellie does.
Does anybody have any changes or upgrades to April 23rd? Joe Kasha, do you have any changes?
Nelly, I think I sent you a couple corrections. Other than that, no, I'm all set.
Yes, a couple of grammar corrections. I already updated those on the official version.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jesse, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I don't have anything.
Mike Nolan, do you have anything you want to add?
Nope, looks good.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to accept Thursday, April 23rd, 2020 minutes.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Second.
Jesse Medford? Mike Nolan,
Aye.
Joe Kasha,
Aye.
Scott Holmes, aye. Okay, moving forward to June 4th. Mike, Joe, Jesse, and Scott. Does anybody have anything they want to add or? Jesse?
No.
Joe?
Nope, good as is.
Mike Nolan?
Nope, all good.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to accept Thursday, June 4th, 2020.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes of June 4th, 2020 as written. You have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Mike Nolan?
Aye.
Jesse Medford?
Aye.
Joe Kasha?
Aye.
Scott Holmes, aye. That's all I had. There was no third day, was there, Nellie?
No,
Okay, good. Moving forward. Loon Pond Lodge, SEM updates. SEM contract updates. I think you know by now that the Board of Selectmen voted not to extend the contract. So as of December 31st at 12 o'clock, we no longer have a management company.
Or bar service.
Or bar service. Thank you, Mike.
Okay.
Or a cleaning committee? No cleaning contract?
There was no cleaning contract. It was a day-to-day thing.
Okay.
Well, the town is looking to get a contract from the cleaning company, which we probably should do now since it's not going to be handled by SEM. I can elaborate a little bit more on this if you want, Scott.
Sure, go right ahead, Mike.
Okay, as you know, we met with Leah. I met with Leah to knock out the last few little details on trying to get the extension done for the year 2021. There wasn't much that we could change per town council, but we did get some language in there that we had all spoken about, such as the liability for damage and the lower price and the query forms and that type of thing. As it turns out, we met about a week later with Bill Fuller because Leah didn't want to run it by the Board of Selectmen and us if he wasn't, totally on board with it. He didn't really even look at it. He just said he wasn't interested in a one-year deal at all. He wanted either to extend it for 3 years per the original contract or not at all. And I asked him if he would be interested in bidding if we did put out an RFQ, the request for a bid. And he indicated that he would not be interested in doing that. So we're starting from square one. There wasn't really much that we could do or the Board of Selectmen could do because he decided he didn't want to do it. So
Okay.
I do somewhat understand his position. 2021 is not going to be a great profitable year. Why spend his money in personnel if we're not going to, it's not sure that we're going to have any functions at all. Although we are paying him a monthly fee, but he felt it wasn't something that he wanted to even get into. So Leah is working on a is it an RFP, Scott, or an RF? I can't. RFP. Okay. She's working on that as we speak. And anybody on our board is welcome to, meet with her as well and put in our 2 cents. Although we've pretty much gone over this, what we want to see in it. But,
Yep.
Mike, can I ask, do we have a plan B if we don't get somebody by January 1st and we've got people booked every week, events booked every weekend, starting around March or April? When does the schedule, maybe Nellie knows, when do they start doing the weekends, Nellie, in next year? Is it?
Right now, we have things only starting in March. But it's an unknown because we don't know where everything is going to be and if that needs to get postponed or not.
You mean because of COVID or because we don't have any management? Or
No,
both?
because of COVID.
Okay,
So Plan B is to move forward on the RFP as soon as possible, get somebody in there. And also to get the bar contract out as well. There are some other possibilities that we could talk about. I asked Nikki, I took the opportunity to call Nikki Phillips and ask her if she'd be interested in, staying on as like a consultant basis. I don't know if I have the power to offer that. I was just trying to get some ideas for a plan B, as you say, Paula, because she is familiar with all of the booked weddings and functions and has a personal contact with all those folks. But I don't know if that's something that we can do or could be worked out or how we would do it.
Did she seem interested?
She said she would think about it. I don't know if she seemed interested or not. It was just a quick, as I said just now, I don't really have, without talking to all of you folks and without talking to the Board of Selectmen, I don't know how I have the wherewithal, to offer that to anyone. But I just was trying to get an idea, and it seemed like the most obvious plan B type thing, stopgap type thing.
You're right, Mike. You don't, but I think it was a good idea to throw that out there at her and see what her response was. Obviously it would still have to go through all of us in the board, but I think that was a good try for you to do that myself. Yep, and I understand that once this all went down, we got bills for May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December, correct? Which
Yes.
I'm going to make this point. We were not going to get those bills, but now we are.
Doesn't matter. We owed it anyway, so we planned on it. So,
Not really.
well, we should have, because it's part of the contract. We should have planned on.
How can we plan on it, Joe? We got no money.
But we knew we were still going to pay, right? If we weren't going to pay, we should never have used them. But we still had them on. They were doing some work for us. We knew they were doing some work for us.
Yeah,
So we didn't pay them.
I'm just
I have
saying.
a question. I
I'm
have a
just saying.
question, Mike.
Hold on, Paula. Joe, all I'm saying is those bills weren't going to come until this went down.
I
Right.
can,
That's behind us now. Now we can look forward. And the next steps are.
Go ahead, Paula.
oh, okay. That comes to over $27,000, right? And if we can't pay it, does the town pay it? How does that work?
Town is paying it.
Okay, they're gonna have to pay it because we don't have the money, right?
The $50,000 they gave us is already gone.
End of story then. Thank you.
All right. Any other comments or concerns about the lodge and SEM?
I have concern.
Yep.
Come January 1st, when we start receiving phone calls, because it is busy in January with people looking to book a place, as New Year's and Christmas are big engagement times. So January starts the season of the newly engaged finding a location. Who's handling all of it?
Nobody.
Good question.
You don't have time to do it.
I don't.
Nope.
It's also not even in your job description to
Nope.
ask you to do that.
Nope.
So that was one of the reasons I reached out to Nikki. I don't know what else to do. There must be professional events coordinators out there that we could contract for a short period of time. I don't know. Really, we need to talk to the Board of Selectmen. They were the ones that made the decision.
Yep.
The only thought that came into my head, and it's not the best idea, is to promote that we are not booking anything in January, February, March, let's say, until the RFP is done out there and we have bids. Because we don't have anybody to give tours and to handle that calendar.
Well, we're not going to make that decision tonight.
Right. Right.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Paula.
Do you think that possibly the selectmen are going to get somebody from town hall to step in because we don't have a management company come January and they don't have anybody in mind? How do they plan on managing this? As Nellie said, they don't have anybody to book. To book things or to answer questions or do all the things that Nikki was doing when COVID was shut it down. I mean, there are brides out there that are on the ledge because of this weekend booking, and they have COVID coming. It's going to be a lot of phone calls and it's going to be a lot of anxiety. And I don't think Nellie needs to answer that, but I'm wondering if the town has appointed or has some idea about somebody in town hall that can take that over. Maybe Mike Nolan, did they have any indication that they were going to step in?
No, this just happened at their last meeting. I can't blame them. It wasn't really the Board of Selectmen's fault. I mean, it was taken out of their hands when the contractor said he wasn't interested in taking that 1-year extension. That was our intention. That was our plan. And that was the Board of Selectmen's intention and plan to give it an extra year for us to figure out what direction to go in. And he decided he wasn't interested. So, that was 5 days ago, 6 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think anyone in town hall is going to just take over, if that's what you agree.
I'm thinking that they have a plan. Once it was rejected by SEM, the 1-year extension, I don't know, maybe I'm assuming too much, but I would have thought that if they didn't accept, they would have had some idea how they were going to handle that come January 1st, because as I said, Nellie can't handle that. And there's going to be a lot of phone calls and issues.
Well, hopefully we can get somebody in there soon.
Yep. Anybody else? Any comments? Okay, how's it working out with John Mirando?
As far as I know, everything's great. I've checked in with him a couple times. He's still, he has a lot of parents that aren't real comfortable about going inside. So he has a whole, is one of them over there shaking her head? Is that you, Nellie?
No. My kids go inside.
Yeah. But he's still lighting up that area out front. And as long as it's warm enough, he's had a whole group of kids out there. I noticed there was probably 6 or 8 of them, which is great. I mean, if the parents aren't comfortable, even though he's taking every precaution indoors per the Board of Health, he's accommodating those parents. I don't know, Nell. You tell me, how is he doing? It looked like they had quite a system there with the hand sanitizer and the lines on the floor and the entrance here, exit here.
Yeah.
Parents there, don't go near anybody. It looked like.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job with anybody, and the kids get a choice. Would you like to train inside or would you like to train outside? And kids are resilient when it comes to cold weather.
Oh, yeah.
So the kids are fine and they're doing really well. Cleaning has come in every weekend, early Saturday morning. Everything's been working out pretty well.
Who's cleaning the bathrooms?
They clean it every night. And then they do a deep cleaning on Saturday morning. I thought it was Friday night, but it's Saturday morning. That was the agreement, right?
It was.
I thought was.
I believe he's adhering to it. He takes all of his stuff out of there every night too. There's nothing laying around.
There is some items in the area where we keep the chairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw it today. I hadn't noticed it before, but I didn't really take a look. It's a small bin of things for the kids that do inside. It's not big mats or anything. It's those like portable sort of foam things that they hold on their arms. And it's just like one of them, a big exercise ball that they play with them with. It was in there because I told him I was rearranging some stuff and I was going to try to pull it out so it was easier for him. But I also said maybe the coat closet would be fine. Because it's not like it's the big mats and everybody's like on them.
Right.
Yep. Okay, good. Anything else to do with the lodge? Anyone?
Oh, yes. Teddy Delarocco has been there with Jason multiple times about the heat. And something just recently got replaced in the furnace, which was causing the problem.
What problem?
Something to do, and they thought it was in the big diamond room where like half of it wasn't working. And it was pointed out during voting. And then the hallway wasn't working and the entryway wasn't working. And I went in there one day and it was really hot in the bathroom, but it wasn't registering anywhere. None of the gauges was up high. So something was going on. Jason's been back and forth. They had an electrician come in to take a look. And finally they found there was wires in the furnace, which were going.
Paula, did you hear anything about any of this work being done?
Me? No.
Yeah. Neither did I. And between the two of us, we're covering the lodge. I don't know why we don't know anything about it once again. You know, we've really worked hard to try to keep the communication open here. And I don't know why we're not getting clued in on this. Sounds like a somewhat major problem, and I didn't know anything about it. Scott, did you know anything about it?
Only that Nellie said they were having a problem with the heat. And that they were getting Jason. Teddy was meeting them. That's all I knew.
And who is that getting billed to? Is that going to the building
I
department?
have no idea.
I do believe it's going to the building department. It seems like Nate set it all up to get Jason in there, and Teddy was just there to let them in.
Right.
Okay.
Anything else? Any Ted Williams camp updates in general?
Just that all the systems have been blown out, except they were having trouble with the irrigation system around the lodge. I'm going to meet Jim down there probably whenever I have time this week. And we're going to get that blown out. They couldn't figure out how to do it, but everything else has been blown out. I know we'll get to Clear Pond Park in a minute, but I also told them at the same time they were going to go down to Clear Pond Park and winterize that and take that pump out of the pump house and put it in the maintenance building like they normally do. They said they would. I haven't followed up on it yet.
So if
I
they
did
shut
see
down,
them there today working on the irrigation system at the lodge.
Okay, good. We figured it out then.
I think so.
so they shut down the bathrooms out in the middle there, and the bathrooms are all shut down.
Yeah, that was done a couple weeks ago. They just couldn't figure out the how to do the irrigation system. I was gonna help them out, but I think they figured, it sounds like they figured it out.
Okay, good.
Also with Ted Williams Camp, they had a big tree that they cut down over by the basketball courts. It was dead. I know that there was a few things that went down with the high winds that we had, but they've cleaned all that up.
When I saw Franklin the night of the special town meeting, and he said that he had the guys in there trimming some branches and stuff around the lodge, which was probably a good thing because that storm probably, if they were old at all, they probably would have come down. And so I said that's a great thing. Thank you. I mean, those are things we need done.
Yeah, the tree that's in the middle of the circle there, the entrance circle at the lodge was, I never really noticed it because it always flowered in the summer, but I had a lot of dead branches on it, and they pruned that up. They trimmed that up really good, got all the dead branches out. It looks good.
Good. Anything else for Ted Williams Camp?
Scott, can you explain the flooding at the camp that you sent pictures of?
It wasn't flooding. I was just sending you pictures of our drain systems.
Okay, all right. It wasn't flooding. All right,
No.
thank you.
No, and the one near the maintenance building, the one that takes care of the paved parking lot, was empty by. Let's see, what day was the rain? It was emptied by
Saturday.
Sunday night.
Friday?
Yeah, it was emptied by Sunday night.
Friday?
Monday morning. This morning it was dry.
Yeah.
The one over near the police station, on the other hand, still has water in it. And that's due to the fact that all the loam keeps washing down into the bottom. And I talked to Franklin about that, and he said, at this point, we're probably going to have to ride the winter with it. And he'd get his guys in there in the spring to help get the loom and stuff out so we can get back to the sandy bottom that it's supposed to have. I said, great. What else can we do? But I mean, it was working. It was filled up with water, and the parking lot had a small amount of water in it. So that's good. Okay. Any sports updates? Anyone? Joe Kosher, anything? Jesse?
I got, well, I'll get mine when we get to John Pond.
Okay.
Scott, I noticed that we don't have anything listed under old business for the new fields.
Yep.
So I guess I should have put that in with Ted Williams Camp.
Okay.
We were talking briefly with Mr. Patel about possibly using those fields for soccer or whatever, so that it would allow more room for him to play cricket. But those fields will in fact be ready to be played on. However, we can't park anybody over there. The parking lots are not complete. It's just a big stone out there. We had, I believe in our budget, we had $15,000 put aside to finish that, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we have nothing put aside right now.
Right, there's nothing there. So, and I had checked with you folks, what we were going to do about these, a couple of projects that we still had open, and they said, town said, just we're working on, what are they? You're kind of working on a meager budget right now, right? Whatever we have to get through.
Yeah.
So I don't foresee, unless we get someone to donate some time and material, I don't see that those fields will be accessible for the spring.
What type of material do we think we need, Mike?
Well, I was talking to Frank, and Frank was looking at it. He thinks it's too big a job for the highway department to handle. So I was gonna call Mr. Clancy and possibly the other contractor that did the other parking lot, and see if they wanted to come down and give us an idea of what they thought would be a good way to do that. I think our plan was to roll those stones down, drive them into the ground and then cover it with gravel of some sort, probably the same type as we have in the soccer parking lot. But again, we don't, unless we can get some donations, I don't see how we're going to be able to afford that.
Yeah, so we're talking a big roller.
Yeah. Yeah, probably a bulldozer or a front end, a big front end loader. Also, we had talked about leaving an area in that corner without all the rocks there and putting down that loom and planting some grass in there for a little playground area. I think that's a great idea, Scott, and we should probably make some plans for that and see if we can make that happen. But again, I don't think any of this stuff is going to happen for the spring sports season.
Okay, well, that puts a damper on things if we're not going to be able to use those fields.
Well, anybody knows anybody that wants to donate some time and materials, we might be able to do something, but.
How did the fields do with all the rain we had recently? Are they all right?
They are fantastic.
Yep.
They
I was
are
out there
great.
Saturday afternoon walking, and you wouldn't even know it had rained.
So all that gravel down below it, Joe, it just drains.
Yeah.
Drains better than the soccer and the baseball fields.
Mike, can I ask you what type of material and where are you putting this? Give me an idea.
Well, the two fields are done, Paula. Have you been over there to look at it at all? You taking a walk over there or a drive over? Can you hear me?
I'm sorry. No, I can't.
Have you been over to look at those fields?
Yeah. I mean, I was there a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay. So do you
The new
I don't-
fields,
go ahead. Sorry.
the new fields, Paula, the ones across the street from the nurse funeral home.
Oh, the new ones?
Yeah.
Weren't you were
Yes,
talking about
okay.
using them. You were talking about using those when we were talking with Mr. Patel.
Those were only going to be used for soccer, if that was feasible, if they could switch over there. Is that the same fields?
That's the fields I'm talking about. That the parking lots are not.
Okay.
Yeah, and those were not built just for soccer. Those are utility fields. There's specifically in my mind, I can Lakeville lacrosse has been looking for a place to play in Lakeville for many years.
Okay.
A bunch of kids, Lakeville kids, and I personally I'd rather get them a place to play before we do cricket fields. But regardless, either way, those fields. My point was that those fields are not going to be usable in the spring unless we can come up with something to finish those parking lots off with.
Okay. So you need some gravel.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. I'd like to talk to someone who knows how to do it. And I'm thinking gravel or something like that.
And the machinery to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that something we could post on the website? Just asking if anybody, out there, if Nelly could put something up there, not picking on Nelly or anything, but just say, hey, we're looking for volunteers or someone to donate time and materials, like Mike said, to get those fields up and running for springtime. If not, we won't be able to get them up and running. Maybe somebody will come through or something.
Okay.
It's a thought. I don't know. Is that possible?
We've done it in the past.
Is there
Joe,
any chance?
Yeah. I think we might want to do
Is
that.
there any chance the town will do it?
No, that was
Too big a job for them, Paula.
It's what? Too big?
Too big of a job for them.
All right.
Joe, I can ask to make sure that it's okay that we sort of solicit, donations on our page I'll double check and then I'll let you guys know what the answer is.
Yeah, I mean, because like Mike said, if we don't get it, then we can't use the fields in the springtime, right? So maybe somebody can help us out. I don't know. People are pretty generous, I can admit, so.
There was a time that when we were first building them, that Lacrosse had said that they had some money that they were willing to, to invest in those fields. Soccer put in they paid for the well there. That was donated. And all the electrical was donated by Old Colony Regional. So I know that it's precedent for us to accept donations. It's just a question of finding someone who can do this work.
You know, the general square feet for the parking lot?
Not right off the top of my head, but we could get it for you if you know somebody.
Well, I could ask somebody, but I don't know how much area we're talking about.
Right. I don't have that number right in front of me, but I can get it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I can throw it out there and see if somebody will donate it. But I don't know what I'm talking about in terms of how much area and whether you need gravel or bluestone or whatever.
Yeah, well, I could get you the area, but as you said, I'm not an expert on what should be used as either. We need to get someone that's knows what they're doing.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Interject that.
No, thank you. No, I'm glad you did, Mike, because as we see here, I see it's not there. So is there any other sports updates for 2021 forward? In just thinking about that, Nellie, did the gentleman from Horseshoes get back in touch with you?
He didn't.
He didn't. Okay. We need to please send him an email reminding him that we need, he's looking to update what we okayed for them to do. Volleyball approached him about getting a spigot over towards the volleyball field court. And I said, if you're going to go across that parking lot by any stretch of the word, it's got to be done properly because people do drive over it, at least in that area. So I asked him to get back to us with an updated plan. I know we had already okayed what he first gave us, but I said, before you do anything, we need to see the updated plan so that everybody can see what he's talking about. So
Okay.
if you could just send him an email
received-
saying, we're waiting for your updated plan,
Okay.
and then we'll go from there. We'll bring it back to the board and make sure everybody's good with it. That's about the only other thing I can think of.
Scott, did they send you a plan that included that piece, extension going over to volleyball? I hadn't heard back from volleyball or from him about that.
No, just the original plan that he had drawn up for us, which was spigots on the back side and then extending one down. And he said that since that, volleyball had gotten in touch with him and approached him about it. So I said, before you do anything, I said, we need to see an updated drawing and it has to come back to the board. So, and I said, and remember, if you're going to go across that parking lot, you can't just run irrigation, 1-inch irrigation, soft piping across the parking lot because everybody's going to be driving over it. I said, you've got to put in the right material. I don't know what the right material is, whether it's Schedule 40 or iron pipe or, a metal covering over it. I don't know. I said, but that part of it's got to be done correctly so that it doesn't get ruined and driven over.
Makes sense. Okay, I didn't know that volleyball had reached out to him.
Yeah, so that's what I said to him. I said that he needs to get back to us with an updated plan before you can go ahead. so that we can revisit it.
Okay,
Just for a note, when he was told of the approval,
You freezing.
back.
You froze. What? Say that again. You're freezing. We didn't hear anything you said,
I
Nelly.
don't know why. Ugh. I'm using too much internet, apparently. He was told any adjustments have to come back to the park commission when I first told him about the approval.
Right. And
Oh.
I saw him at town meeting and I said the same thing. I said, it shouldn't be a problem, but you've got to bring it back to us so that the board can reevaluate it. Okay, anything else there? I know that really wasn't sports updates, but I thought of it at that time. All right, over to Mr. Kosher and, oh no, I'm sorry, Clear Pond Park. Mr. Medford.
Before you get there, on the agenda, the sports updates, I had two things I added to the agenda for that there. One of them was the 2021 sports fee schedule. Is it going to stay the same? The reason I ask is I've got somebody interested in having a softball tournament in July from New Bedford down in John Pond, and they were asking what the fees were going to be. So I just want to make sure that, are we going to stay the same that we went with last year? There's no plan, I don't think, to increase them, correct?
I don't believe so. We can pull the board. I mean, we just raised the fee last year.
Right.
From 15 to 20, but that's more for your in-town people. I don't know what the fee schedule was for tournaments. Do you know what that was, Nellie?
Yeah, hold on. I'll bring up the contract.
I didn't have any, Joe, myself, I didn't have any plan on bringing that up, but you know, if the rest of the board feels it's necessary, then it's something to talk about.
Yeah, I didn't think there was an increase. I just want to make sure before I get back to the guy.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
our fees for tournaments haven't changed very much. It's still just $2 per player, which includes players from the visiting team, and any additional trash receptacles or portable restrooms required are charged to the group or team.
okay.
Nelly, I'll probably just rough one out and I'll send it to you what I'm thinking for them, but I just want to make sure of that. Okay, so next thing I had I know it's coming up. It's in the sports scheduling. We usually do it in January, I think it is. February, I think at the latest. It is not that far away. My thought was that there's going to be, I think we broke it up last year. We divvied up who has what sports. I think we need to get together a plan, maybe not today, but maybe a next time, on who's going to cover what sports and how we want to do it and what contracts we're going to have. I have a draft of a contract I think we can adapt to different groups of sports to cover more things that we've covered in the past. I'll pass out by the way within the next 2 weeks. But I just want to see how we're going to handle that. Are we going to have a master schedule, a scheduler, or we're going to put it up there on the website of all the sports, what's playing where and all that? I know we talked about it using some type of Google scheduling or whatever it is. So I think we got to put that on our radar soon. If that makes sense.
Yep, it's usually done in February, but we should probably plan for the end of January just in case of whatever reason. It doesn't appear we're going to be able to have a meeting per se. It may have to be a Zoom meeting, but yeah, you're right. We did separate those. And, whether you have a separate meeting with those groups or we do one big meeting, it's always been one big meeting and, a third of them show. But definitely good on your part to think of that now, Joe, because it is going to be on us before we know it.
Yeah. Like I said, I think we need to lay it out. I know we broke up different commissioners have different sports. So I think we have to agree first how we're going to do it before we notify people. And
Yep.
Maybe in the next meeting or two, we iron those things out.
Okay, Nellie, if you could put that on the agenda for the next meeting, this way gives everybody a chance to think about how they'd like to see that run. 4 of us have been here in the past years. Paula hasn't. But, we all know how last year wasn't bad. It went pretty quick. But I don't see us being able to have it in person, unfortunately. So,
maybe we could have, we have it in a big room, we separate, maybe we allow one person to come in at a time or wherever it is, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But
let's come up with a plan, Joe. Maybe we can do that where we assign times and everybody's got 15 minutes. They come in and the paperwork's over there and they take a packet and,
well, we can even do it outside as well.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah. No, so if everybody wants to think about that, think about any way that we can maybe run a meeting, with more of a pickup and drop off type situation rather than sitting down having a meeting.
I think it'd be good for them, maybe those different coaches or whatever, to see the actual commission they'll be dealing with, face to face or mask to mask, whatever it is, for a minute or two. Might be helpful.
Joe, I agree. I agree. I know there's been some turnover. I know there's been some turnover in baseball. Jack has finally stepped down. He's been the president for the last 5 or 6 years. So he's finally stepping down. So there's new people there. It would be nice. It would be nice. Okay.
Can I just interject something, Scott?
Sure. Go ahead, Mike.
Talk about that. We probably should, at our next meeting or before we have that meeting with those folks, come up with a plan on, how all these sports are going to run in the spring. And I know that's a fluid situation.
Yep.
God willing, there'll be a vaccine and everything will be back to normal by then, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm assuming that most of these sports are going to want to get back up and running in the spring, like soccer and baseball and
Yeah.
So maybe we should have a discussion about how we're going to do it.
Well, that's why I've asked Nellie to put that on the agenda for next meeting. So if between now and then we can come up with, scenarios and thoughts on how we're gonna let them run their leagues and getting a meeting together, whatever we have to do. And then we can make some decisions next meeting and that should give us some time and we'll start with the meeting in late January. Okay. Any updates for Clip-On Park, Jesse? Is it still there?
Still there. No, Mike already mentioned the water, so nothing else going on.
Yeah. Not much at this point. Okay. Jump on Park. Joe?
Has anybody checked, is any damage at all from the storms at Clear Pond? The trees down at all or anything?
I didn't see any big
I
trees.
haven't been there since this weekend storm, if that's what you're talking about now.
Just some branches that I saw, but not like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Jump on Park, Joe?
Not much else. It's been winterized. I took care of the well and the unit's gonna be wrapping up this weekend. The bathroom unit, it's been winterized already. Stuff's been taken down, put away and all that. So we're all set for the winter.
So you're gonna keep it there, or are you gonna get it moved?
I asked Franklin, he didn't have a spot for it, so we're just gonna wrap it there. Again, my fear is the damage on it could happen on it, and just the elements themselves. But it is what it is for now. We'll see what goes. We are gonna have to in the springtime get it some to a real good clean out because it did come up with some mold on it last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the inside and stuff. So we're gonna have to take it, and we have to have someone take a look at it. We did have a problem with the heater in the AC was not working near the end of the season there.
Really?
It kept erroring out and couldn't figure out. Nate couldn't figure out what it was, and I said I gonna take a look. I was gonna go down and see the one of the RV guys, but I never did. But maybe in the springtime we have someone take a look at it.
Okay,
And Nelly, I just had it pumped out last week, so should be getting a bill from Mr. Cesspool, so we should be all set.
all right. Any other old business to review? Anybody? Anyone?
Bueller? Bueller?
Bueller there?
I got one quick one. Paula, I put the John Pond AED in the cabinet in the office. All right?
And we're waiting, I was left and Nellie a note just to see if there was any place we can send the defective AED, because you're gonna need that in the spring for Clear Pond.
I still
And
haven't heard
I
back from
understand
that
it's like
company.
$1,500. I'm sorry, Nellie, what?
Sorry, I still haven't heard back from that company. I'm gonna try again this week.
Is this the one we ordered the supplies from?
Yeah, if they just tell us where we can get it maintenance or something, that would be helpful. Even if they
Scott,
don't,
it was the
even
company
if
we
they say
purchased
the
them from.
warranties run out. Pardon me? I'm sorry.
I'm sure the warranties run out on that one, Paula. That one's old.
Oh, yeah, and I hope that we can fix it a lot cheaper than buying a new one.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, any items from the clerk?
Yes. Big items, huge. Just to let you know, I'm sort of moving
Table
a little
that till
bit.
next meeting.
What's that?
We'll table that till next meeting. No, go ahead.
No.
Only kidding.
I'm sort of moving a little bit into the lodge since we don't have events going on right now, and it's really just John using it. So I'm just setting up a little table in the area where we store the chairs.
Yep.
That it's getting a bit too cold and damp in the office, and
Yeah, I was
my
gonna say that.
paper is actually curling.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move just a small amount of stuff over there just to work through the winter, since it's temperature controlled in the lodge. And Teddy has offered to help organize those chairs a little bit better, so that way I can have a little bit more space.
I mean, we can even, if you want to set up a table and leave it set up, that's a good spot. We can move some of them chairs back into the lounge to give you some room. It is what it is. We're not going to have anybody in there for 3 months. So,
Right. Even in the kitchen.
Yep. They can be moved into the kitchen. The only other thing is, we did get that dance floor. So if Bobby's looking for some work in the middle of winter, he can be cleaning that. At least a few pieces that we could put in the Cassidy Warburton room, maybe. I don't know. See what you guys think of it. If you go by the lodge, they're in the kitchen right now. They were donated from Bobby Fickett had a contact over at LeBaron. They were going to get rid of them, and we're hoping to find someone to take them. And Bobby said, "Let me make a phone call." And I said, "Sure." So Bobby and my brother and myself went on a Sunday morning and picked them up. If we find out they're junk and we can't use them, we'll throw them away. But, the Cassidy Warburton room's not a big room. We could put, what they gave us was 40 by 40. It's huge. It's bigger than the one we have now. And it's, like a parquet. You put it together and you tighten it up. And, we could put a small dance floor in there if you guys wanted to. If not, we can do whatever.
Can it be used outside, Scott?
They
Excuse
could
me,
be
can it
used outside, Paula, but it's not something that you can leave outside.
No.
It's parquet, hardwood floor, parquet.
Yeah.
So, it could be set up, if there was a tent or a pavilion that we had, and somebody was having a wedding, that has been done. They've rented a dance floor, but, we'd have to come up with an idea how long it's going to take us to set it up and how many people to set it up. We can't just do it and say, yeah, $100 and it costs us $200 in labor. That's not feasible either. But they're in the kitchen. Some of them are kind of rough, but most of them are in pretty good shape. That's all I had on that. Anything else, Nellie?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. Anybody have any other business for the commission tonight?
I just have a question. Is we still looking at maybe putting some lists together, additional stuff we want to make done at the parks for Franklin? Do we still go through Mike you on that one?
Yeah, we're still going
I
through
have them
one person.
all. Yeah, I have all the lists you guys sent me. If a lot of the stuff on the list has already been done, so
Yeah, absolutely. If you have any more, I'll send it to you.
yeah, just do it.
Yep.
It should be a
Yep.
ongoing type thing anyway. So
Yeah, one thing I maybe you guys might have some idea. I know on the at John Pond we want to take that the power breaker for the field lights, and move that outside of the snack shack. I know Kevin Thu was going to take a look at it, and Nate was looking at it, but we gotta see if we can make that happen, so people don't have to go into that snack shack to put the lights on and they kill the power when they do on other stuff. So I'd rather not have them have anything near the breaker panel except for just a breaker outside for those lights. So I'll stay on Nate on that one if we can get an idea what it's going to cost. We can do it before springtime.
Cost is going to be the question.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're just talking about just getting an auxiliary box on the outside for the lights,
Yeah.
and lock that up,
Yeah.
right? And lock that up.
Yeah. Because what happens is when they go into the inside, then they shut all the breakers off for everything else. So they shut it off for the bathroom, shut it off for the well, and whole 9 yards. So
Oh,
keep them away from that.
okay. Well, at least they're shutting them off.
Oh yeah. But then they call me because no power down there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right. I'll keep an eye on that one.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? Paula?
Yeah.
Jesse?
Nope.
Mike? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn if anybody would so move.
When's our next meeting?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have a. What's the calendar? Today's the 7th.
21st.
Oh, 21st is right out for me.
Well,
You went after the first of the year, the 4th.
we could do that. Anybody have a problem with that? We'll just have to probably in a couple of weeks get some bills signed.
I'll let you guys know per usual.
Yep. Do we want to hold off until the what is it, the 4th? Do you think that's too long with the contract, Mike?
that was the only thing I was thinking about, Scott. But you're not gonna get responses from an RFP before then anyway, and we pretty much have discussed everything we want in that contract, in
Yep.
that RFP, which and it's going to depend on what the Board of Selectmen actually put in it. So
Right.
Right. Unless anybody wants to come back before it goes out, I don't know. Let me probably get in touch with Leah and see what her plans are.
Yeah, I mean, I just think one thing that's definitely got to get clarified, because it was the two organizations are run by the same thing, is making sure the place that the trash gets out at night, whether it's the bartending service or the management company or one or both. Just got to make sure that gets taken care of in writing somewhere.
Okay. Well, I'll keep everybody apprised of it. I don't think we need to vote on anything until before that meeting, though.
No.
We
No.
will be working along.
So we want to go to January 4th. Is that a consensus here from the group?
Works for me.
We'll be thinking about the cricket team for some definite plan in January 4th, maybe?
Yep.
Okay,
Talk with them Saturday.
after we meet on Saturday, yeah,
Right. We're going to meet him on Saturday.
all right.
Okay. So Monday, January 4th at 6:30.
I agree.
Okay.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
At 8:07.
8:07.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Joe,
All right.
Jesse,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Paula,
Aye.
Scott, aye. So moved. Meeting is adjourned at 8:07 p.m. Thank you, everyone.